Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Lofty Lender. Today, I've got another special guest. Born and raised in the Des Moines metro area, my next guest has a deep passion for serving others and building meaningful relationships. With a background in psychology and social networking, she possesses a unique ability to genuinely listen and understand her clients, ensuring homes are marketed effectively. As a full-time business owner for the past 7 years, she firmly believes that communication and exceptional customer service are key to building lifelong client relationships, which remains her ultimate goal. Recognizing that buying or selling a home is a significant life decision, she approaches each client interaction with patience and empathy. In her free time, Murphy enjoys spending quality moments with her husband and daughter, walking her two Labradors, listening to country music, cheering on the Iowa Hawkeyes, and exploring the great outdoors. Let's welcome this week's guest, Murphy Boley with Remax Concepts.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Awesome. All right. Well, I know you're a little nervous, so let's get right into this with you talking about you. How did you get into real estate with a background in psychology and social networking?
Yeah. So I went to the University of Iowa to get my degree in psychology. I originally wanted to be a school counselor. That's what I had thought that I was going to do. But right before my sophomore year of college, I had met my now husband. He was in Des Moines while I was in Iowa City. And we got engaged after just a year of dating, and then we were going to get married right out of me graduating from college. And if you know anything about psychology, you have to get a master's degree or some kind of doctorate degree to go on to be able to be pretty much anything in that career. You can't really do much with your bachelor's degree. I was ready to settle down with my husband, and I didn't want to go on to more schooling. And through work that I was doing on social media, I had promoted and sold like beauty and wellness products just through college to get myself through for some extra money. And one of my friends, right when I was graduating college, had started in real estate. And she was in that same industry with me on social media. And she was like, Murphy, I know that you love working with people, you love being on social media, you love helping people. And she's like, real estate is a great way to do that. And so I had met with her over coffee, and she had told me all about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to still graduate and get my degree. And then I went right into real estate school right after I graduated. And that is what I've been doing ever since for the last 3.5, coming up on 4 years.
So then, are there any skills that psychology kind of, you use psychology in part of your sales, obviously, but are there things that you're going through the home buying process and you're like, oh, they might be thinking this. And I know that I have this inner understanding of them because I went through these classes.
Absolutely. Yep. So one of my minors was in human relations. So it's all about reading other people and being
Whoa,
able to build relationships with other people.
that's cool.
So I work with clients in all areas of life, first time home buyers all the way up to clients that are retiring and downsizing at that age. And so every client, you're going to have to match their energy and their level a little different. And psychology definitely helped me doing that and being able to just build a good, strong relationship and read my clients no matter what stage of life that they're in.
So are you like a CIA operative where you can like read them and tell if they're a terrorist or something?
I'm not quite that good, but yeah, I really enjoy building relationships with people and my clients. So that definitely it helps having the psychology background for sure.
Sidebar, I didn't realize that you and I had this in common. My wife also went to Iowa, and we got engaged one day less than a year after we started dating. So we got engaged, and then we were going to get married right after she got out of school too. And then we realized that it's impossible to get into places. So it took us another year and a half, but whatever.
Yeah, very similar story. Yeah, we were engaged, 1 year and 1 month after we started dating and then married within three. So,
So you say you've been a full-time business owner for the 7 years. I'm assuming that that includes selling some of those products and stuff while you're in college. What's the most valuable lesson you've learned about running your own business?
oh man, that's a good question. I would say just being able to build something for yourself and your family is the thing that I have definitely enjoyed the most, and just being able to create and own my own time as well. That is something that you can never get back. And I knew that I wanted to be able to carve out time for my family. And so I knew that being my own boss and building my own business for myself was going to be the best way to do that. And so, but it does take a lot of work for sure. A lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of dedication, but it's so worth it in building what is most important to me, which is spending time with my family and creating those memories. So
Well, let's go down that path then. So you talk about your family and hanging out with your daughter and stuff. What kind of activities do you guys like to do together?
Pretty much anything outdoors. We love the park, we love the pool and Adventureland. We always get Adventureland season pass, so we're always going to the water park there. Yeah, anything with the pool. She also loves the beach. We've taken her with us to Florida and to St. Thomas, so she loves the beach and the pool. Anything that we can do outdoors for sure.
We actually just bought my son Adventureland tickets, a couple of months ago, and he will not stop talking about them. He doesn't even know what we have them. It's coming up. His birthday's coming up, so we're going to give them to him for his birthday. And all he's been asking for is just, can I get a 1 day pass, grandma and grandpa, or can I get this? Or, hopefully I can win a 1 day pass or something. And I'm like, dude, just stop trying to win stuff. We already have it. We already got the entire season. You don't need to worry about it. But he doesn't know that yet, of course. So it's kind of fun for his birthday to do that.
Yeah, sounds super fun.
So having two Labradors must keep things kind of crazy at home with your daughter. So what's the funniest story or memory you have with your dogs?
The funniest story or memory? I got a good one. So it would have been not this past winter, but the winter before, we got a ton of snow. And we have like a black vinyl chain link fence in our backyard. And the snow piled up so high that it built a mound as tall as what our fence was. And when I let my dogs outside, they just climbed right up the snow mound and jumped right over the fence and ran all the way around the neighborhood. And it took me about 15 minutes to find them because they have tons of energy and they would run and run and run forever. And Addie thought that was so funny. When the dogs kept running away from us. So we had to jump into my car, and that was the only way that I could get them to come back in is I would drive up to them and tell them to get in the car, and they'd eventually come. So they love to be adventurous for sure.
I guess it was the dogs and not your daughter, so that's probably best.
Yes.
So you enjoy country music, which I love as well. Who's your favorite country music artist or band maybe that you've seen?
Morgan Wallen, probably. He was amazing. And Luke Combs. My husband and I have seen Luke Combs 3 or 4 times, and he's great as well. Such a good entertainer.
That's awesome. So any game day traditions, being a Hawkeye fan, that come to mind? Can you guys do it at a tailgate, or do you go to the games? Do you have a host parties?
Yeah, we usually just watch it at home now, especially with like our daughter. It's a little harder to get out, but yeah, we just watch the game at home. My mom's also a huge Hawkeye fan, so sometimes we will go over to her house and watch the game as well. But there's pretty much not a Saturday that we miss where we don't watch football. So we're always watching the Hawkeyes.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember before kids, like you said, before kids, life was so much better. I mean, so much different. And you think back and all the tailgating and stuff. We ended up meeting a guy just from tailgating in Iowa City, bouncing around, and we kept seeing this guy in the same place all the time. And he had like this old 1950s van that was just falling apart. And he always had shot skis in there. And you'd walk by, and it didn't matter who anybody was. He'd pull out the shot skis. And yeah, we ended up just making friends with this guy simply from tailgating so much that he ended up being at our wedding because we partied so much with this guy.
Wow.
So
yeah.
awesome.
It's been a while since I've done the tailgating. Pre-kids for sure.
Yeah. So looking ahead, what's one big goal you're aiming to achieve either professionally or personally in the next year?
In the next year, I would say that I want to sell 30 houses in 1 year. That's been my main goal. Last year I did 25, so I figured I gotta up it up a little and do 30. So that's the main thing that I'm working towards this year is getting 30 deals.
Awesome. And are there any bucket list items or dreams you'd love to pursue that you haven't yet?
Ooh, that's a good question too. That's a good question. I would say, I've already done this, a trip out of the country, but I would love to do one like with my daughter. So me and my husband and my daughter, because we took her to St. Thomas, but that's technically still a U.S. territory. So I would love to do a family trip out of the country. Yeah, I don't know where. Maybe like the Bahamas or Jamaica or some tropical island that's just out of the country.
Man, more power to you. If I can go anywhere, I love my kids, but I don't want to take my kids. That's not a vacation. That's a trip. So we're going to hop.
Vacations without her too, but yeah.
We're going to hop into the quick pick segment here. So I'm just going to ask you some this or that questions. You tell me the first thing that comes to mind, and you can expand upon them if you'd like, but you don't have to. So first one is country music concert or going to see an Iowa Hawkeyes game.
Probably a country music concert. That's hard, but yeah.
Summer barbecue or winter bonfire.
Summer barbecue. For sure.
Labs or golden retrievers.
Labs.
Instagram or Facebook.
Probably Instagram. Yeah, I like both, but Instagram.
Lake day or hiking trails.
Lake day, for sure. Anything with pool, beach, lake. Yes.
Kind of saw that one coming. Sweet or salty?
Ooh, this depends on my mood, but probably sweet.
Phone calls or text messages from clients?
Text messages. I don't mind a phone call, but if it's something that can be texted, then I prefer a text.
Reality TV or true crime documentaries?
True crime, for sure. You can ask my husband. Forensic Files is my favorite show of all time, and I've watched every single episode, probably 20.
My wife is hung up on Bones right now, and it's just been nonstop. She's got her tablet walking around all over the house. She's making dinner. She's folding laundry. She's watching that darn show. Pizza or tacos?
Ooh, that's hard. I guess probably pizza.
Fair. Reading books or listening to podcasts?
Listening to podcasts. I almost never read books, unfortunately, but I listen to podcasts every single time I'm in the car, so.
Live music or a movie night?
Live music.
You take your daughter out to the live music yet, or is she still young still?
Yeah, last summer we took her to, oh gosh, why can I not think of what it's called? It's in Des Moines on the river. I
Nights
don't know.
on the river?
It's music that they have like I want to say they have it like every week in the summer. So yeah, it's like some live music on the river, and we took her to that, and she loved it. She loved it. We had to have like the noise cancellation headphones on, but yeah, she had a really good time.
By 8:30, she was passed out on Dad's shoulder. Right?
Yeah.
Netflix binge, or it says a good book. You said you don't read, so I'm gonna say Netflix binge or podcast binge.
Yeah, Netflix for sure.
Homemade meals or eating out?
Eating out, probably. I don't love to cook, but I do most of the cooking, so yeah, eating out.
What's your favorite local Des Moines restaurant?
The one that we go to the most is Guadalajara, so I would say that's probably our favorite. We love some good Mexican.
Right down the road there. So you don't go to the little Mexican place in Bondurant? That's a good little spot. Their salsa is super spicy, though.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to that one, actually.
What?
I
Get
know.
out of Dodge.
We always go to Guadalajara.
That's good. I can't complain there either. Iowa State Fair. Food stands or the concerts?
Oh, man, that's really hard. I love both equally. I love the food and the concerts. But honestly, I guess I'd have to go with the food. I mean, nothing beats the food as hard as it is. But yeah, the food.
Awesome. All right, well, let's get into the trending topic. So with the market shifting from an intense seller's market to a more balanced one, inventory rising nearly 30% compared to last year, average days on the market climbing to 48 days from last year's 26. Yet homes are still selling at 98.3% of the asking price. What's your best advice right now for sellers to ensure their homes stand out and still fetch top dollar?
The staging and how you prepare your home to get ready to list is the most important. So I always bring a staging box to all my listings, so I help with doing some of the light staging, but the prep work ahead of time before photos and before showings is what's really going to help your house to stand out. So making sure that you just have the house obviously clean and ready to go, but have the blinds open so that there's tons of natural light when people walk into your house. Taking stuff off the countertops and magnets off the fridge just to making stuff look extra clean. Getting all your pet stuff out too. That's a big one that people can sometimes forget about, especially me as a dog lover, remembering to get my pet stuff out and then having that ready to go. Just those little things that will really make your house stand out for showings and in the photos are going to make a big difference. Showing well is huge.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today, Murphy. It's been great hearing your story, understanding a little bit more about you. I love that I learned more about you that I hadn't known before in our previous conversations. If people want to get to know you or they want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Murphy Boley, Iowa Realtor. I'm also on Facebook, just Murphy Boley Realtor. And then my phone number is 515-556-9416.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. And if you feel like you learned something today from Murphy or you want to get to know her, reach out to her. She's educated. She knows what she's talking about, and she can really help you get that top dollar for your house if you're looking to sell. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Lofty Lender Podcast. It was a pleasure having Murphy on the show, share her insights and experiences with us today. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and found it valuable. And as always, remember, stay curious, and we'll see you next week on the Lofty Lender.
Thank you.